How's it going, everybody? This is your boy Drake. You know what I'm saying? We're about to do a discussion on men suffering in silence. And basically, we're going to talk about some mental health issues we deal with through the trauma that we've been through throughout our life, or some trauma we've been through recently, or things like that. So I know a lot of us have lost family members. A lot of us have seen some stuff that kind of makes us go through things in life that gives us anxiety, depression, stuff like that. A lot of us deal with stuff because of the environment that we're in. We go through a lot of changes in our lives. Sometimes mentally we can't handle a lot of it. And everybody know we suffer from mental health, even black men in general, coming from what happened in our past. Slavery, you know what I'm saying, could be part of it, because we all, that slavery stuff still kind of resonated in the black community. Our community, what we've seen in the streets, dealing with violence in the streets. So they develop this type of trauma and they go through it in life without receiving any help. So it affects them as they get older. You know what I'm saying? If you don't receive help or talk to somebody about it, it affects you as you get older. And we wonder why this kid is acting this way, or why these kids are this way, or why we're this way. It's because we never received any type of help. And the stigma in the black community, I can't afford it, or I ain't finna talk to no doctor because they don't understand me or something like that. So we stray away from it and we just deal with it, and we suffer in silence. And us suffering ends up ruining our relationships, our friendships. You know what I'm saying? It gives us problems on our jobs because we can't hold a job down because we got anger issues, pissed off because we haven't fixed our issues that we're going through. So I'll start with me. I never knew that I really had some type of trauma from my childhood until I started really learning about mental health. A lot of mine came from, being in the military. And it still affects me today, because me spending 22 years in the military, brainwashed and, programmed, because in the military we do program our brains. We have to program ourselves to be unemotional. For instance, if like when I'm in combat and one of my soldiers gets killed, you got 30 other soldiers that you have to win the fight. So we can't sit there and cry in front of these soldiers, because we're the leaders. So we go and we cry in silence, and we let all this emotion out in the room, and then we still have to come back and go back out the next day and fight another battle. So we hold that inside until we get back to our families, and we unleash it. And we put it on them, not knowing that we're actually doing it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because this is part of our life. This is how we've programmed our minds to operate.
Right.
So then when you get out and get somewhere else, now you got to deprogram. And once you deprogram, that momentum that you had, it starts to lower. Now you start getting depressed. Right. You start having anxiety. You can't control yourself. You can't be around people. And you put yourself in this dump, this dark place, and it just ruins you and destroys you. So, I've spent 22 years. I got PTSD, of course, and it affects me a whole lot, because I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of death, to where now it don't really even affect me. So like when somebody pass away, it hurts, but I'm able to control it, because I mentally fixed my mind into how to control it, a coping mechanism. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I figured out how to cope with it. Instead of me crying, you know what I'm saying, I kind of try to be a leader at that time and give support, you know what I'm saying, to my family members.
Right.
And then military guys, you know what I'm saying, when we get out, we so used to hearing everybody else's problems,
right,
all our soldiers' problems,
right,
that those problems kind of squash, you know what I'm saying, our own issues.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then, now I'm out, I have to deal with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't got nobody to lean on and say, all right, let me fix his problem, because that matches mine. So now, it's harder now. You know what I'm saying? So I have to figure out other coping mechanisms. And if they work, to me, it works. You know what I'm saying? So that's my little spiel. So I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to hit Elijah first. He's going to give us a segmentation of his, why he got trauma and how he's dealing with it at this moment. So Elijah, go ahead and introduce yourself, my brother.
Yo, Elijah, aka Sony, rap artist, Wadi Records. Yeah, I did like 21 years in prison. And, excuse my French, that really kind of fucked me up in the head. Because you'll be in the prison for so long, right? All you used to was like the violence. You used to the guards always like yelling at you, yo, you ain't, like pretty much like they always dehumanize you.
Right.
Yeah, you a piece of shit. You ain't gonna be nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I kind of absorbed that for a while.
Right.
I was young when I went in, but I was older when I came out. So for like maybe like 5 or 10 years, you know, I started believing what they was telling me. Oh, yo, you'll be back. I'm like, yeah, you know, you dead right. I will be back because this is who I am. I programmed myself to believe what you was telling me.
Right.
And then, yo, you know, I started reading the Bible, started praying a lot, and God actually says, yo, you're not what they're saying who you are. So I had to deprogram myself and had to sit back there and rethink the process as far as what I'm gonna do when I get out. So I started following God's lead. So actually, when I got out of prison, I kind of adapted to society, but I was still somewhat like incarcerated mentally.
Right.
Right.
I came out with a lot of anger issues.
Right.
Now, for example, let's just say if you and I are talking,
Right.
you project your voice. Now, you're just projecting it, not in a hostile tone, but I'm gonna take it in a hostile tone
Correct.
because I'm so used to hearing it.
Right.
Seeing it.
Right.
That's
And now I'm ready. Now I'm in fight mode
On the
now.
defense, yeah.
Like, yo, why you getting so hostile? Because you
Right.
you projected your voice. That's
Right.
what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And by me doing that, I've hurt a lot of people. You know,
Right.
said a lot of things to people I shouldn't have said, but they didn't know what I was going through.
Correct.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that ask me, would like talk about it. I'm like, nah, I can't. I don't want to talk to you about it because you never been in my shoes. You never been
Right,
what I've been
right.
through. You won't understand
Right.
what I'm going through mentally.
Right.
Right.
And the only person I could actually talk to was God.
Right.
And I prayed, and He gave me the peace to overcome that. However, I'm still dealing with it on a daily basis.
For sure.
You know, even with my wife, you know, my mom, you know, just people in general. It's difficult to
It's
deal
a
with.
constant process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people just don't change overnight.
Correct.
My wife, she thinks I'm supposed to change overnight. I said, yo, this is like a coping process. It's gonna take a while. It's not gonna
Right.
happen tomorrow.
Right.
It's not in my process. It's in God's timing when it's time for me to actually make that radical change.
Right.
You gotta take baby steps. So
Right.
that's what I'm doing, taking
Absolutely.
baby steps.
Absolutely.
So first and foremost, before closing, is I seek the kingdom of God first and all His righteousness, man,
Amen to that.
to make sure that He can help me better myself, so I can be a better father, a better brother, a better friend, a better family member, just a better person all around.
Right. That's real.
And you know, and one last thing before I close, I'm not gonna continue to profess that I have PTSD. Because once I continue to profess that, I'm gonna
Giving it
start
power.
believing that I have it.
You're powerful.
So if I deprogram myself saying that I have this illness, then I won't have the illness. I have to speak what the Bible says. I have to bring His words to life.
Right.
If I continue to bring the bad things to life, that's what's going to become fruitful in my life.
Hit it like recycling your mind.
Then I continue to walk in those footsteps, and I'm not going to walk in those footsteps. So whatever happened in 2023 is out the door.
Right.
Yes,
So I have to
sir.
renew my mind for 2024.
Yes, sir.
And I would like all you gentlemen to renew your mind for 2024 just as well.
Right.
True.
So, I would ask you this, so as far as like being incarcerated for 21 years, how was your demeanor and, you know, your relationship with your wife? How does that affect you and your relationship?
Right now, we're still growing. We've been married since August, and it's still a growing process.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And there's still things that she's still trying to learn about me as far as being incarcerated. She asked me questions about it, but right now I'm not willing to fully open up
You're not comfortable enough yet.
because I feel like that's something, I'm not gonna say it's sentimental, but it's private.
Right.
You know, a lot of things I've seen people get raped, I've seen people get killed, I've seen people
Right.
get thrown over railings, and right now, I'm not trying to scare you off about what I've seen or what I
Right.
witnessed.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just that when it's God's timing,
Right.
it's God's timing for me to open up and let you know what I've been through and what I've witnessed.
Can I, what you're saying that, can I ask you something?
Sure.
So, y'all married, right? So you asked her to marry you.
Mhm.
So in the event that you ask her to marry you, if you open up to anybody about that prison situation, I think that she would be the person, you know what I'm saying, that would make you more comfortable to open up and talk to her about with her being your wife that you got to lay with every night. I don't have a wife. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just see how my mama and my stepdaddy deal with each other. My stepdaddy was in like the same situation. So it's a lot of stuff that he dealt with and endured in prison, and he didn't get out and talk to his friends, best friends, because he couldn't, because he felt like they were going to be judgmental about certain shit. So he talked to my mom about it, and it kind of took a weight off his back. You know what I'm saying? He's able to kind of like live more so freely and not worried about it, because you know that you done shared this with her. Now she gonna be able to understand you a little more. She love you, y'all married, y'all committed in life, but that's gonna make her trust you a little more. Like, this man has literally gave me everything, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that might be something that it probably help y'all in the long run. Again, I'm not married, I ain't never been married, I don't know how it works, I'm single as hell, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying, just, I'm a mama's boy, I love my mama. I see how my mama handle stuff, and I see that my stepdad was in prison and he went through that. And when he got out, he came to find my mama again, and they was together in the 90s, and then got back. They got married in like 2015 or something like that. But it probably sooner than that, probably like 2012, sometime around there. But anywho, they he went through the same ordeal though. But like the prison situation, he didn't see people get killed, stabbed. He didn't had to hurt niggas in prison. Like, it's things that he shared with her.
Yeah, just the prison.
That he got that. It's like that weight comes up off of you now. It's like I could talk to somebody about it. Because deep inside, you might feel like you can't talk to nobody about this shit. But that's your wife.
Yeah.
And
I would say this for like that situation, counseling. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be a psychiatrist, but it could be your pastor. But just that counseling. I was in the hospital for mental health for 6 months. And when I first started, you know what I'm saying, I was just like that. Man, I don't need to talk about it. They don't get me. They ain't going to understand me. You know what I'm saying? But you share your emotions. But once they broke me down, it helped because I was able to open up and speak. Now I can speak freely. Normally, I wouldn't have talked about none of this, brother. But they helped me, and they gave me coping mechanisms to deal with it, and now I can speak freely. Now, this ain't your girlfriend, it's your wife. So in order for her to be able to help you or understand you, the best thing for you to just sit down and have that conversation so she can understand you better. Because if she don't know what went on in your past to make you act the way you act, then she'll never get to know you.
Yeah.
And she'll never be able to help you with whatever you need help with. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your partner. Now y'all one. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all being one, brother, it's got to be a time when you can give that to her. And then that'll probably make y'all relationship better. But if you got a pastor, sit down and talk to that pastor and have him talk to y'all together to give y'all some type of counseling. Because 21 years, my brother, you know, that's incarcerated. That's a long time.
It's institutionalized.
And that's that right there, bro. I already know the anger you said that you have when people get live with you. I'm the same way.
And I ain't even do 21 years.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
So I don't know if I
the way
imagine
we was
like
grown. We
shit.
so masculine as men. You know, anybody that comes at us like there's a threat to us as black men. You know what I'm saying? You're a threat to me if you raise your voice. So now I got to handle you. You know what I'm saying? So we all
You
built
feel
like that.
disrespected.
But it's just that we got to figure out ways to kind of tone that down because we're getting older. And now these young boys, you know what I'm saying, we can't swing like we used to. So now we're going to end up killing somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I want to ask you a question. What would it look like to you? And just think about this in your mind. What would it look like to you, a safe place to actually tell somebody what you've been through? And do you think, do you imagine that your wife is able to give you that in her current state? Because she's going through whatever she's going through also. She's got an entire history of mental health issues. Black women go through a lot of things that black men go through also because we are in the same space together. She may not have been in that space that you are in, but have you ever been in a place where you feel like I can talk, I can release these burdens in my mind? Because if you haven't, it'll be really hard to see it and recognize it when it comes.
Honestly speaking, my dad was like my safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
But he passed away. I could just express myself with anything.
Yeah.
That's like day one dude. He can understand because boys will be boys. He's been through the same situation, minus prison.
Yeah.
And the only safe place I really, right now, find myself able to release is when I'm driving and listening to gospel music.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Marvin Sapp, never would have made it. I mean, I forgot the name of the song.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Never would have made it.
And I talk to God, and you know, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you, when I'm driving, I'm listening to gospel music, I actually cry.
Yeah.
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 You know, because I'm really
That right
thinking
there.
about my life. I'm like,
That right there.
I'm like, man,
What
God,
safe
what's for
place
you?
outside of privateness could you cry? Like around people.
Yeah, I broke down at work before.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, I was ashamed of it. I'm like, man, yo, it's already flowing out. They see you, so what? Whatever they say, so what? So be it.
Yeah.
I'm a human. I'm a man.
Right. Yeah.
You're a human.
Yeah. That's the
You
main
know,
thing.
but
Like,
right
You're a
now,
person.
my focal point is my man upstairs. He's
Yeah.
the one that gets me through any and every situation, obstacle, man, that I'm faced with on a daily basis.
I will also
Praise
say,
God.
cause like Mike, I was in the military for 8 years, and like I literally from the first year in there, I started experiencing people that I cared about like die, get killed. So like I would hold a lot of stuff in, and those people like what I'm saying, like I still talk to them. You know what I'm saying, like your father might not be here, but you still can talk to him like before performances. You know what I mean? I always just go away. A lot of people be wondering what be going on. I literally walk around in circles and talk to my sister, be like, thank you, yo, like thank you for being who you are. Thank you for always having a presence on me. And I do that like for multiple people because there's a lot of people that I care about and I love that aren't here no more. But I still talk to them like they're here. They don't have to answer back vocally, but I know that whatever comes next, they had something to do with it. So I say like your father is still there for you to talk to because the only way these people pass away is if we don't speak their name no more or we act like they don't exist no more. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you speak to him, he's still alive. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more than just a body. Reading the Bible is more than just what's in your physical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's your spirit, it's your soul. So I would say that's something that helps me. Anybody that knows me knows I've been advocating for therapy for years. I grew up, and I think a lot of us grew up in these urban scenarios. Well, I can't even say a lot of us, because
Before you get into it, go ahead and introduce yourself again.
yeah. So I'm Broadway Louie, artist. You know what I'm saying, actor, mental health advocate. A world of things. But one of the things I most care about is the fact that me being open about my journey has allowed others to be more vocal and open. Because in the military, bro, a lot of us just were silent. Like I seen my mentor get stabbed to death in front of me. Like I seen that happen in front of me. I seen one of my best friends get stomped out trying to save his life. I seen my doctor homeboy couldn't save his life and how that did. Like it's so much that happens, and this is in a short span. Like this is literally my second year in the military. But imagine that happening every single year that you're in.
Yeah.
Every deployment you go on, you lose somebody else that's close to you.
Yeah.
So we grow up, don't cry. Why you balling your face up? What are you doing? Man up. Like that's what we're taught in our communities, and I can't necessarily blame them because you got to realize where that comes from. Like, you know what I mean? Like our ancestors were slaves,
Right.
So they had to use certain mechanisms or certain discipline measures to raise their kids to make sure that they were okay.
Survival.
Correct. It was more so survival than anything. But that transferred to us, and we didn't necessarily need that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially with a lot of broken homes, the crack epidemic, all these different things that came and struck the black communities.
Right.
It's different reasons for it. So I don't necessarily blame my mother. She had to raise me how she could raise me. However, there were setbacks in that where I wasn't able to be open. And it was always about proving my worth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Proving that I could do this or be above and beyond and never showing weakness.
Right.
I remember I was like 7 years old. I had to hold my mother while she cried.
Right.
Like, as a little boy. You know what I mean? But I'm the same little boy that's being told you can't cry.
Right.
I done seen it all. I've been sexually assaulted. That was my first sexual experience, you know what I'm saying? And all these different things happen to us and we just hold them all in. It's like, that's the first time I've even said this in a room full of men. I've told women that I've dated, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I've experienced this because women have gone through it. So I want them to understand that I understand what it feels like. Huh?
A woman?
Yes, I was so it, just a quick story of it. I had just moved to North Carolina, and this was a big part of my life.
Yeah.
I grew up in New Jersey, Broadway Ave. I'm from New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? My mother moves me to the South for better discipline because the South are harder on kids than up north. You know what I mean? It's a little bit wilder up north. She moves me to the South, literally the second week. You know what I'm saying? A boy holds me down, and the girl does what she does. You know what I mean? And I didn't even realize like what happened. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize like
like that's what happened, you know, because
Right.
you're a little boy. You're not sure if you're supposed to like it or not.
You got no context for that.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I got older, I was like, I went to therapy and I'm telling the therapist what happened. And they're like, well, you know that. And then it hits me like, my God, because the way I felt after that,
Yeah.
I felt like completely like violated. I went home, I just closed my door, I didn't talk to my mother. And something happened with that where I think internally I blamed my mother for that happening because she moved me from New Jersey to North Carolina.
Right.
Which in turn means I snapped on my mother. She slapped me. I raised my hand back, never raised my hand to my mother in my life. But it was inside of me because I didn't know that what I was feeling. Left my mother, moved my uncle. My uncle helped me learn a lot of things about being a man. But fast forward, I go into the military and it's just like more trauma on trauma. So I've been experiencing trauma since birth. I finally get to therapy, but the only reason I got to therapy is because my sister passed away from cancer. When she passed away, I'm literally at Bank of America 3 months later because I'm doing shows. I'm doing Soul Hood 1. Like, this is like, I'm really coming into my own. I'm on the radio. I'm traveling. Like, this is like, oh, my dreams is finally coming true. My sister passes away, and I'm still working for 3 months. But then I'm at Bank of America. My manager walks up to me, and he says, yo, are you okay? All because I'm not my normal self, walking around smiling, showing love to everybody at their desk. And I literally just start crying.
Right.
I just start crying. The doctor prescribes me teardrops because I can't produce tears like that. So I'm literally sitting here like blown away at the, first of all, I'm crying. Second of all, I'm crying in front of another man.
Yeah.
And I'm crying in my workplace.
Right.
That I relate to that because it's like you feel like a whole chump, like, oh my God, like I don't even cry now. All these people looking at me crying, like it doesn't even matter what you're going through.
Right.
It just matters how people look at a black man in an open space, like he crying. So then from that, I lost my mind. Like I literally lost my mind. I was laying in the middle of the road, wanting cars to hit me. I was walking in the middle of the road, wanting cars to hit me. I drove my car into a dumpster on purpose, broke my hand. The relationships that I had, all of them are falling apart. The relationship between me and my daughters are now estranged because I've gone homeless. I'm in a homeless shelter. I'm too embarrassed to call my daughters on FaceTime because I know they're going to ask me, Daddy, where are you at?
Right.
But I'm holding all of this in. Like I'm holding all of it in. I don't want nobody to know. Nobody would know this if I started posting on social media, on Twitter, because nobody goes on Twitter. They don't know I want to kill myself. So I can post it on Twitter because nobody cares. If I do it on Facebook, everybody gonna be in my inbox. But I'm crying out for help and I don't realize it.
Right.
So the VA, people finally sent me to the VA and it's like, yo, you need to really get help. And thank God for the VA at that time because like they put people around me to like force me. Like I had no choice. Like, no, you need to go to therapy.
Right.
No, you need a counselor. No, you need a caseworker. And I would call my caseworker every time I had an episode and be like, I'm finna do it. I'm finna do it. I'm finna do it. And I would never forget. She said, Louis, I really love you as one of my patients or whatever. But if you keep calling me like this, I'm gonna have you committed. And if it's one thing I fear is going back to jail. And to me, getting committed is very similar to going to jail.
Right.
So I said, you know, like, I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm going to take the opportunity. Let me go to therapy. Therapy is kind of different because, like you said, if you've never been through what I've been through, I can't talk to you. You don't understand what this is. You don't understand what this is. And when I first tried therapy, I had therapists that weren't black, and they don't understand the black plight.
Right.
They don't. A lot of times I was telling them stuff, and he would make me defensive because it's like, you think I'm lying about this?
Right.
You think that I would make this stuff up? You think I want to make this stuff up?
Right.
Right.
So I kept going to him, and then one day I told the VA, I said, I need a black therapist. And they was like, well, we can't really. I said, no, you don't understand. I need a black therapist. I need someone that understands me.
Right.
And I went through a few therapists, bro, and I finally had a black lady, man. And for 3 or 4 months after that, bro, I cried on the way to therapy. I cried at therapy. I cried leaving therapy. I cried at the thought of therapy. I cried if you asked me how did my day go. And it was like, bro, I don't know where this is coming from. But that release of letting all that pain out. And the crazy thing is, it's going to be a continuous process. Like, it's not going to change for us overnight. You got to keep doing it because there's so many layers that you got to break down.
Yeah.
You got to break down layers as an adult. You got to break down layers as a teenager. You got to break down layers as a kid. Like, because we've gone through trauma from the beginning that has been hidden. You know what I'm saying? Just put it away. It didn't exist. It never happened. Right. But in reality, once you get older, what do? All you do is reflect on the past. Yeah. All you do is reflect on the past. So all you feel is pain. Right. But one thing I've learned is that therapy really helped me. Once I found that therapist I was comfortable with, I had therapy yesterday, was crying. But that's my safe space. Yeah. That's my 1 hour to go on a call with somebody that doesn't know me in real life, that's not going to judge me for the way I feel, this insecurity I feel right now, and let me cry and get these thoughts off. And that, in turn, we and Mike have had conversations, me and Los have had conversations, because now with that, I'm more open with it. I don't hide it no more. What is there to be ashamed of? Things happen to me. I'm still here. Right. I'm proud to be here. Yes, you know what I'm saying? That God has me here, and I'm able to make an impact on others. It's a lot of black men out here. It's a lot of men out here, period, that think they have no voice. So I'm loud. Right. I'm loud. I'm proud. Yeah, so I speak for those as they learn how to speak up for themselves. Like, right. I take pride in this mental health stuff, and I was like, I want to be here to talk about it because, like, we need to see this, and like, we need to see this physically from people that look like us. Right. You know what I mean? Not people that's going to get on the camera and judge us for what we going through or how we approach things or how people look at us. We need that space in order to grow. How else we going to know where we're supposed to grow to if we don't get the opportunities to let out all the real feelings?
Right, exactly. Right.
So, yeah, I know I went on a little bit tangent. My bad, man.
It's all good. It's all good. We're going to move that. And that was good, man. Because a lot of us, everything is relatable, and we are all near about on the same plateau when we dealing with this type of stuff. We'll move on to Carlos.
Cool. What's going on, man? I am going on there, everybody. Carlos Smith II, filmmaker, videographer, been here for a long time, and I don't really share this with a lot of people, but I got bullied when I was younger. You know what I mean? I was bullied when I was in school.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I got bullied.
Yeah, I got bullied. And
that's why you be so defensive. That's why you so defensive.
Right.
Like,
yeah, exactly. But I got bullied when I was younger, and I never told my mom about this. I actually never told her.
You got bullied till you was about 20 sometimes.
Probably like, I got bullied up until like, I would say 10th grade in high school, and I was just dealing with that for a long time, man. Yeah. I was completely defensive. Complete defenseless. I was like, got to the point where it was one time I tried to stand up for myself, and I got jumped anyway. You know what I mean? I was dealing with that for years. Walking home from school, I was scared to walk home from school because someone was going to bully me about something. It was people always taking stuff from me. People were picking on me. Like, I was dealing with that a lot. So my self-confidence was just like down the hill. Yeah. It was down the hill for a long time, and it took me, so when I say, when people see me post about like my film life and how proud I am of it, because that really changed my life. That changed my life for the better because it helped my confidence go up.
It made you feel empowered.
Yeah, it gave me something to look forward to because, you know, between now and I want to say between their middle school days and up until like the mid 2010s or whatever, you know, I was dealing with the self-esteem. My self-esteem is shit. Excuse my French, but it was, and I know it's bad. I wasn't in the military. I wasn't locked up or anything, but that's still another situation.
No, man.
A lot of dudes don't talk about it because
for sure.
Very valid.
No, I was bullied.
It sucks.
For real.
You know
It's a real thing.
So when I see people talk about, like, you know, if I see events that like can talk to kids about bullying, I'd be wanting to be there to help because I've been that victim. Right. And you know, I still academically, I still did well in school, but you know, personally, it got to the point where I just didn't want to. Really like talk with a lot of people. Right. I didn't want to tell people about it. I didn't want to. It affected my early relationships. You know, but the relationship I'm in now, you know, even then, I even have this problem to this day. Sometimes I don't even want to vent these days because I feel like I'm gonna get judged. Even my own lady, I feel like she's gonna judge me. But I know better. You know what I mean? But I still get that way. But film has always been my safe place. Those that have been around me, y'all know that.
Right.
That's always been my safe place. So people don't really see me talk about transparent things like they see my film life because that's how I use that to heal. So the film I'm right now, you know, my sister passed away back in 2020. I never really talked about it other than the time it happened. Right. But when I wrote it, I literally specifically wrote part of the story based on my sister passing away. My first time ever talking about it. And I kind of held that in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
God, dog.
Let it out, bro. I'm telling you.
Ooh. You can tell I don't talk about this at all. I don't.
It's okay.
Breathe, bro.
dog.
Breathe, bro.
It's
Just
okay,
breathe.
man.
Take deep breaths.
Take deep breaths.
Trust me, bro. I was just crying. I was about to cry just then. I was crying yesterday.
Just keep in mind, bro, you ain't go through that phase by yourself, bro.
Yeah, Tyler lost his brother the same year I lost my sister. You know what I
3
mean?
months apart, bro.
I wrote that film because I wanted to talk about the family. I finally wanted to face it.
Right.
I've been running away from that part for 3 years, and not really ever said anything about it. I barely talked to my family about it. You know, family do talk about it, and during that time, and it was so fresh for me because I had never dealt with something like that. The thing that hit me the most is that her kids, you know, she left 2 kids behind. None of us had ever been through a situation where we lost our parents growing up. They're the two first kids in the family that ever had to deal with that. So, you know, I felt a lot of guilt. I felt like I wasn't there when she passed away. I wasn't in the hospital. I was in Orlando. I was trying to get there, but I had transportation issues. I couldn't get there. And, you know, I felt bad that I wasn't there for her.
Right.
And that's been sinking with me for a long time.
Right.
And, you know, till recently, I had to finally forgive myself for that and not try not to beat myself about it because she knew I would have been there if I could have. You know what I'm saying? I tried my best to be there. Like, I literally bought a bus ticket so I could be there. Like, what happened was I remember my mom calling me. You know, I'm playing the game. You know, that's what I do. I play the game. I'm chilling. I'm in Orlando. My mom called me at like 10 o'clock at night. I remember the story. Like, she called me at 10 o'clock at night. She never calls me late. So that's already a red flag for me.
Right.
That was the first time I ever heard my mom cry at that age. That's the first time I ever heard my mom cry.
Wow.
And my mom's a strong woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was a single mom for a
That's
long
that
time.
black women play he was talking about earlier too, because they hold a lot of stuff in.
Yeah, my mom, you know
to
what I'm
be
saying?
strong for us.
Yeah, my mom raised 3 of us, you know what I'm saying? So when she called me at 10 o'clock at night saying your sister isn't doing good, you know, I'm trying to ask, you know, what's going on. She let know, call your dad right now and tell him to call. My dad at work, but I called my dad, blow my, you know, and then when I found out what was happening, actually happening, I literally bought a bus ticket so I can get to Jacksonville. She died before I even got there, so I didn't get a chance to see her. Never got a chance to say goodbye to her or nothing. So, you know, I felt like for the longest, I felt as a big brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? And everybody else was there except for me. I was the only sibling that was not there. So that and then 4 years prior, she was in the hospital again. I mean, well, not again, but prior. Prior 4 years ago, to that point, she was in the hospital for the same thing, but she actually survived it. So, you know, when she went to the hospital that second time, in my mind, I'm thinking, she good. She'll fight it. She gonna beat it. She'll be all right. I wish I wasn't wrong. You know what I mean? So, you know, but those are the 2 biggest things I really went through, and it's more of a recent thing versus, like I said, you know, being bullied when I was younger and affecting my self-confidence, and, you know, and I don't, you know, it doesn't matter if people can tell or not, you know, if my self-confidence was bad, but, you know, it's rare for a man to say that.
Because oftentimes we don't want people.
Yeah, we don't want to say that. We don't want to say.
I think the reason why you don't want to tell your wife because you kind of want to protect her. You want to protect her because she, you know, she ain't seen stuff like this, so she might respond in a way where she gets afraid or defensive, or whatever the case it is. And as a husband, you low-key want to protect her, and you don't want her to see that side of you, and you also trying to put that stuff away. But in the same sense, like I think strength comes from being open with your loved ones and trusting the fact that they're going to accept it openly.
But we've also never had strength, like actual strength, modeled to us. We don't know what strength looks like.
A lot of times
outside of Uncle Phil, you know.
It's Superman.
I'm Todd Jackson, actor. I think my whole life might be, I don't know. My whole life, I've kind of lived for other people. Like, meaning that I've always been a star athlete, but I never felt the gratitude from it. I always felt like I was performing for all these people out here, and I ain't never like get the love from it. So when it came from like Pop Warner, high school, when I met Los, I was playing minor league football in Daytona, and it was I was telling him then, I was like, tired of taking all these hits. I'm tired of like, I want to do something different. My brother, had started working with Los first, doing projects and stuff. And if anybody know me and they know my brother, we were like best friends. We completed like 2-3 projects, and like Los was just saying about maybe March 30th, 2020 to be exact. My brother came to my house on the 18th, which was a Friday. Saturday, I ain't saying he was wild, he was being trill. Sunday, he called me like around about 11 o'clock Sunday morning, and just was like being goofy. He was like, he put up a post and he was like, "Do say is that you calling me on this Sunday?"
Man, I remember that too.
Remember the post?
I remember that.
I never forget it because like he called me and he was like, we was ranking, like we ranked for like at least an hour. Like he drove from he drove from like the north side all the way out to Orange Park to go pick my nephew up. In the midst of him going to pick up my nephew, him, my sister, and this other dude, I don't even want to mention his name, but anywho, this other dude that was in the back seat with him, the phone rang, and the number came across the screen and it said Edward Cherry. And my sister made a comment to my brother. She was like, "Who is Edward Cherry?" And my brother was like, "You know, mind your business or whatever." So he take my sister's phone, because me and him was talking on my sister's phone. He take my sister's phone and give my sister the phone. While I'm talking to my sister, he's on the phone with the dude who initially killed him. The dude called my brother, told my brother he had a check for him, some money that he had owed my brother. My brother go to meet him, and they walked down the railroad tracks and shot my brother 7 times. I had never, my whole life, like the biggest thing that was missing out of my whole life was being raised in a 2-parent household, like having my mother and my father in the same household. We didn't get to have that. We didn't get to have it like other kids. So me and my brother always made a pact that we was gonna stick together, like no matter what, like we were gonna always be together. And I talked to him, and up until that moment, I literally told him before he went around there to come and get me. And he said, "All right, bro, I'm gonna call you when I'm headed across the bridge." I went to sleep. About an hour go by. My phone ringing on Facebook ringing. I'm like, damn, who calling me on Facebook? I answered the phone on Facebook, and it's a dude, Neil. And he asked me how I talked to my brother. And, you know, he knew I hadn't talked to my brother because he was going to pick up the dude that was with my brother. So you went to pick this dude up. Y'all left my brother. My brother bled out. My brother was shot 7 times, but was able to get away to call the police. Police couldn't find him. The person that was with him left. Disappeared like a thief in the night. Never seen him again. Talked to him on the phone. He said he had suspended driver license, so he didn't want to talk to the cop. From that day, everything has pretty much went to shits. Like, relationships, I was already like, the one I was in at the time, that shit was already on the ends, but I kind of gave my all to a situation last year, and it kind of did the same thing to me. Like, I watched it pretty much disappear. So now to me, like, when it comes to, I think like my biggest issue is like love. I hear people all the time speak about love, no matter if it's me telling Mike I love him as a big brother, me telling Broadway or Los or whatever. Like when we leave the set, like we always be like, "Love you, bro, I'm gonna holler at you," stuff like that. I say it because I really mean it. A lot of people say it just because of the moment. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's like my biggest thing. Like that's the biggest trial, the biggest issue that I'm faced with. I feel like people don't value each other enough.
Oh yeah.
And
just too late.
Right. And now the fact that me and Los, we interacted with our siblings before they passed away, and now they not here, and they not that much younger than us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just like Los, I feel like I failed as a big brother because I knew where my brother was going there. I didn't know where he was going. He just told me Dodge Road, so I didn't know Dodge Road could have been anywhere. But I knew the area to go look when it happened. So anytime I talk to anybody, like, I always be like, bro, let me know when you get there. Text me, like, I hit you last night. I said, bro, I'll let you know when I done got to the city or whatever. Like, I always, I'm scared of losing people.
Yeah.
That's my biggest, like, the biggest thing. Like, I'm scared. I don't want to lose nobody else.
Yeah,
I just buried my grandma in January. That's who raised me.
Right.
So,
It's before that, real quick. My niece, my sister's oldest daughter. You know what she said? That she was afraid. She said she was afraid of losing close people. She's 14, and she she lost her mom when she was 11. So that's what she said. She said, and that stung. That stung when she said that. You know what I mean? So this is just something to think about. You know.
that's the biggest fear, man.
Yeah.
Channing.
Well,
Just a
I'm Channing. Channing Hinton. I am tech founder, app developer. My struggles with mental health they creeped up on me. It didn't really get to me until I was an adult. I actually I grew up in a 2-parent household, military. My dad moved us all around, so I'm from everywhere. Mississippi by way of California. But when I got to, I've always been the smart guy, but also the guy who was not black enough.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I've dealt with that my entire life, but I've also dealt with the fact that I never fit in anywhere, because everybody's been around here for forever. You move into Kinston, North Carolina, everybody's like, I've been here all my life. And I'm just like, I just moved here from Oklahoma.
Right.
You moved to Oklahoma, and everybody's like, well, I've been here all my life, and I
I
just moved here from
lived in Rocky
California.
Mountain, North Carolina, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and those people, they don't leave.
Yeah,
they don't
no,
leave
they
the
don't.
small town, the county that they live in, except to go to Talladega, or wherever the race place is in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Talladega's
I know
Alabama.
what you mean.
I lived there too, Alabama. And then in Mississippi, I there's a lot of stuff in Mississippi. I only visited there, summers, so I really didn't know anything about it, except that everyone there is my cousin. I think he's my cousin, and I'm not at all lying about this from Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg ain't that
Half of
big.
Hattiesburg is my cousin, so we found that out, and I was just like, really? Everyone's my cousin. When I became an adult, I dealt with very, very, very. So I grew up in a church, and in that church, I kind of was encased in the not only the token black guy thing, but also like the good one issues.
Right.
But also. So it's a particular thing that I dealt with, and I've been dealing with. And this reason why I've done a lot of the things that I've achieved, a lot of the things that I've achieved, is just because I've always been a threat with my intelligence.
Knowledge is power.
So being that person that is capable of doing these things, is talented, is smart, is every time I enter into a space where people are just, getting stuff done, I get personally attacked, bullied as an adult by people in power and under power, which is like, the managers that are right above the directors. Got that my entire career at home. A lot of just emotional abuse from at that time, my wife it was just an incredibly hostile space. And so that trauma just like shaped me. And so now I'm in a place where I am really just trying to figure out 2020. I'm just trying to figure out how to manage, how to handle
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Because it's a balance.
I've been Superman all my life. I've been Superman. I'm the oldest son. I'm the kid who held it all together. I am the one stable person in the home.
I was about to say, are you the mate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And up until March, it feels good being broke. It does. It feels great.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult, but
Nah,
God, it feels
I
good.
know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, do you need to pay? I can't. I've held everything together, and the only safe space that I actually had, and I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this until it was gone. The only safe space that I actually had to be myself, because I have, like you, always lived for other people. I've been Superman all my life. 2-parent household, yeah, but then I realized, well, my dad never really showed me anything. My dad never really showed me.
It's crazy when you start to unveil.
You start to unpack all this stuff. My
right.
dad really never
Yeah,
showed me anything. My dad was also going through a lot of what I'm going through right now because my mom was a little crazy, and she was dealing with stuff. She didn't have a father. Her father got murdered.
Oh, man.
See, that's
So
my mom went through the same thing.
the
She
unhealed
was
trauma,
a
man.
kid.
right, and then I'm starting to learn a little bit more about Mississippi. It's a whole lot of just
Correct.
crazy grandmas, and that's where she comes from a long line of crazy grandmas. And so a lot of the reasons why I'm dealing with all of this emotional abuse in my home is because, if you don't know, there's a thing called the Oedipal complex. You marry your mother. You marry somebody that models after, because you have learned love from your mother.
Yeah, Tyrese was like that in Baby Boy.
Yeah.
And I
You
think,
marry your mother.
I think that's what I'm running into now myself. Like,
Yeah.
that's why it was hard. Like,
You marry your mother. Women marry their fathers. That's why you end up being something
Yeah, you
a
know
lot
what's
like
crazy?
your father-in-law.
I was having a breakdown, and I called my uncle because he's like my father figure, and I was crying. I'm like, "Oh, why do I keep dating these women and I'm dating?" Because what it is, like, I grew up having to prove myself to my mother,
Right.
so it was always about proving. So a lot of my relationships, when I wasn't aware of my self-worth, because I didn't love myself, I grew up my entire life thinking that I was this dude. I was this project baby, you know what I'm saying? I got bullied, so I started fighting back. Now you can't bully me, like I'm this person. And then you start to realize, like, you know what? A lot of that stuff I was doing was for acting. Like, I was doing that to impress the people around me.
Right.
I was in groups that I know I ain't belong in. I was never a street dude, but I'm running around with the street dudes everywhere because I want to belong somewhere. 'Cause
Right.
I feel like I'm not getting it at home. So
And
it's
that's
like,
one of the things
I was trying to get away from the streets because I grew up in the project. I was a project baby. I grew up in Palm Terrace apartments, 4801 Moncrief Road. I'm from the slums.
But a lot of when you grow up
Like,
with protection,
real.
when you grow up with like just protective layers around you, those protective layers are for everybody else. It's not
correct. Correct. Because you got to look in the mirror at the end of the day. You got to look in the mirror.
And you're this armored thing.
Right.
You never, when you pull off the honor, I don't know, you may be a ballerina under there. Who knows? The thing is, got all the way up to where March this year, rewind back to the last place where I was working. Terrible place. You may remember it. They hung the Spirit Halloween sign on the building. I used to work there. We'll not mention it for your sake. Your sake. For the sake of this here thing. Very abusive. Very, very, very. I did great things there, but they will never be recognized.
Right.
That's something I've had all my life. I've done great things that never got recognized.
All right.
I mean, billion-dollar things like
Yeah.
never get recognized.
Yeah.
I moved. I went to another place. I took my worth and I put it in this other place, and they let me go. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna do it all myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it all myself. I'm gonna start a business. I start a business. I go through some classes. I'm starting to get in this momentum, and July 5th, 2023, my mom dies.
I can't even imagine that, bro. Yeah.
My mom has been the only place where I could be me.
Right.
And so now I've been in this, I've still had to move on, because as one does.
Right.
But having to take the spirit of my mom, and like Coco,
Yeah.
the movie Coco. Just make sure she doesn't disappear.
Mm.
Make sure that, because my kids now, I have 5 kids.
That's a great example, by the way. That was a great example.
Make sure she doesn't disappear. My 5 kids, she has to not disappear to them too. So I gotta take something. Being Superman, being the wallet, having 5 kids. When I tell you that moment happened, I broke down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I've been breaking down ever since.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much struggling I had done in silence. I never realized it. Because I've always been just the guy that had it together, the successful one, the one, you know, I was straight A's, and I won over $800,000 in scholarship offers when I graduated. I went to UF on a full ride scholarship. Didn't finish, but I went there. I was there. My name was on the thing. And then the struggles that I dealt with after, you know, I lost my family the first time. I was overqualified for jobs. I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought I was just going to leave this place.
I just told somebody that the other day.
I didn't realize that was a thing. I struggled. I tried to find a job for 2 years. 2 years just trying to find a job. And I get to a place and they completely abuse me. And then I get to another place and they just completely let me go. Self-worth? I don't even. I'm just now learning now what it means to be worth something.
Correct. It's crazy. It's crazy that so many years go by.
Yeah,
like so many years go by.
That people look to me for something, and I've been a dad for 13 years now. So, you know,
That's amazing.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
My son will be 20.
I will say though, make sure you pat yourself on the back though for what you do accomplish.
Facts.
Like that's what I learned. Like I take pride in. I'm really hard on myself. Like to me, I haven't done anything. To me, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But I get reminded by my friends and my family. My daughter literally tell me like, "Daddy, I wouldn't be a star like you," and it warms my heart up because it's like I be looking at this stuff like I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
But like the small wins matter because it adds up. It builds you up piece by piece. It's not a lot, but you gotta give yourself a pat on the back too, though.
I wanna see a place, a world where, cause like I've been thinking about this particular podcast for a couple of days now, and we've been. There was a time where we could not speak because we would have got killed.
Right.
There was a time we could not speak because we would have been punished.
Right.
Because we could get killed if we weren't punished. We were taught that. There was a time where we could not speak because you got abused. There was a time we could not speak because they was murdering folks.
Right.
And there's a time we couldn't speak because we'd have been put out on the street.
Right.
There was a time we couldn't speak, and it's kept going since slavery.
It's a cycle.
It's been that way since slavery. You cannot speak.
Speak your mind, you're soft, you get ridiculed.
Speak your mind, you get killed. Speak your mind, you get fired. Speak your mind, you get punished. Speak your mind, because the people who got killed or put out are teaching the children.
Your woman will lead you to you. Speak your mind.
Speak your mind, you'll be alone. I have every single time, and I realize this, every time I speak my mind, I get left by something.
Chastised.
Facts.
Man.
Love is
Facts.
restricted from me.
Facts.
Love is restricted
Facts.
from me. In some way, love is restricted from me.
Facts.
And that is what I've learned that love is. It's this thing that if you speak, you lose.
Well, let me comment that. So I was going to say about that. With me, after being homeless, like women I would love to date, or the women I was dating previously, they would devalue me because I didn't have a car no more.
Right.
I had to ask for rides or whatever the case it is. And it still goes on sometimes now. But what I've learned is like self-love. Like, first of all, I spend as much money on Ubers as you spend on your car note.
Right.
Like so it's like piece by piece you have to combat those things so that your mind starts to combat them.
Right.
Like the self-love, like if I'm open with you and I tell you what I tell you and you decide to use it against me, that's not true love.
That's not
Right.
love.
True love is me being able to be comfortable, be open with you about anything and know that you're not going, like the people around me right now, I really appreciate them because they love me in my true form, whether I'm depressed as hell or whether I'm being the regular Broadway. But, you know, I just want to say I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you having this conversation and allowing me to come through. You know what I'm saying? This felt like a really good safe space, and it was good to see other stories from other black men from different backgrounds. We all have similarities no matter what we going through. I hope to never experience 21 years in jail, but just seeing you sit here and talk about it, bro, that gives me like, that makes me feel like it's, I can do it. I can really get through stuff, because I can't imagine my life being harder than yours with 21 years of incarceration, bro. That does different things to us. So I gotta commend you, bro, and like really say, like, I really appreciate you for being open with us, bro, and respect to you for coming out of that and seeing a brighter light, because I got family members that they jail for life. They get out, they go right back. They get out, they go right back. So commending you to actually, you know, staying consistent and wanting to be better for society and the people around you. So I just want to say that.
What I will say before we leave, to piggyback on what you say, and everybody need to take this in consideration, true love is not judgmental.
Right.
If somebody love you, they're not going to judge you based on what you have, what you don't have, whatever. What you don't have, they should have. If y'all together, the 50 or the 60% that this man supposed to have, this woman should have the other 40%. Don't come to me want Malaysian hair when the whole time you been getting silk and yaki. Like stay in your range so we could build, and then you can have Malaysian and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm just like these women, they tend to judge us on stuff like that. Like you were saying about somebody judging you on not having a car, but you got a spot. So if she got the car and you got the spot, now we come together, boom.
I think it's just societal standards.
No,
you know what I'm saying? It's just
wrong.
For sure. It's societal standards, you know what I mean?
But the societal standards.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess with my last remarks, I guess now I'm in a much better place in my life now. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, like I'm in a good relationship. Like some of y'all know, Todd know. The crappy relationships I've been in.
I know too.
You know too, but he was there.
I love seeing y'all.
I don't think we met yet, but I don't think we met yet.
Oh, before.
Before. I ain't gonna say nobody name.
Yeah.
But now, just talking with y'all fellas, man, and just was a great experience for me personally, because I don't really talk a lot to people about it. I mean, y'all see me on Facebook. My life good, my life successful with filmmaking, which it is. But that's what I talk about, because that's what makes me happy.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. But ultimately, at the end of the day, being able to push ourselves to a better place is commendable to everybody. You being in prison for 21 years, man, that is like you said, man. That I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And so I commend you on that.
Bro, I spent a weekend and was losing.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying, man.
28 days.
Mike being in the military, Louis being in the military. We both lost a sibling in the same year. That you losing your mother and everybody looking at you like you got it all, like, you know what I'm saying? Just hearing y'all stories was just, it inspired me, you know what I'm saying? So commend everybody here, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna leave it with that, Mark. Appreciate you guys, appreciate your time, and yeah.
Looks acting like he about to get up and walk off.
Drop one.
So in closing.
Go ahead, lad.
Oh man, we got the cosmetic beverages. Hold on, fitness beverages.
My closing remarks is, I like to appreciate, like to thank Mike and you all for coming out. And mainly, man, we all struggle in silence, but strength comes in numbers, man.
For sure.
You know, man, we just gotta keep our faith. And I'm willing to go to therapy, get help. However, I had a minor setback when I was in prison because I had a white counselor. That pissed me off. He says, "You people."
I know
that made me go in rage where I wanted.
This was therapy, right?
That's the reason why I didn't want to go to counseling.
It's the white counselors that live.
So that's I was already prejudged.
Yeah. I know.
Then
I know
he said,
exactly
I
what
came
you
from a
mean.
one-parent household, which I had two parents in the household. It is that I made poor decisions in my life, which I'm holding myself accountable for that.
Right.
Respect.
So now I have retrained my thinking, and I'm making the right choices. Help with Mike. Me and Los don't talk that much, but we've talked. And this was very therapeutic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm willing to exchange numbers.
For sure.
And then I'm willing for conversation. I'm willing to make a change in my life. I'm not bringing 2023 to 2024. That's out the door.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So that was good, man. And we can go on forever.
For sure.
We're talking about 2 or 3 hours.
We can talk about 2 more hours, yeah.
And it's good to get some brothers together where we can communicate and conversate and talk about things, man, because that's a military thing, camaraderie. It's we go play cards, drink, get
We family.
drunk, and we family, man. So that camaraderie, man, is what's needed. Because I lost my mother last year. Year before that, you know, everybody know I lost Chris,
Right.
one of my closest friends that I met when I got here.
Yeah, that
You know,
hurt.
That stuff
was
was
like
That
this,
hurt.
man.
That was
I,
just
I missed him on a
interviews.
daily basis.
Right.
So like when I lost that, you know what I'm saying, I was happy when I moved here, man. Then I met him and everything just was going up, man. And you know what I'm saying, he was a cat. I used to stay over at his crib. I used to drive over there every day from the west side to the north side, almost every day. He'd come over there, man. He met my family and stuff like that. He was just a cool dude, man.
Yeah, he
And
was.
somebody I could just talk to all day and laugh. He was a joker, man. But when I lost him, man, it took a piece of me.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It took a piece of me. Now I was without my friend. And then right after him, I'm still trying to heal. And to me, you'll never heal.
Nah.
You just got to figure out coping mechanisms. You're never going to heal.
Right.
You're never going to miss the people that you lost because they're a part of you. So
Oh,
once
yeah.
they're gone, it's like that pieces. It's a
Right.
piece of them taken, but like you said, you got to keep that memory alive.
Correct.
But when I lost my mother, man, they killed my mom. You know what I'm saying? In the hospital.
Right.
And when I lost her, man, that was my rock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like how you say somebody you talk to, that was my heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime God,
Go ahead, let it out, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let
anytime
it
I
out,
needed
bro.
to talk to somebody, bro, my mom was always there.
Right.
My mama never, I swear to God, bro, I never cussed in front of my mom.
Right.
My mama never did anything bad to me or nothing. Like a lot of people go through with their parents, man, or their mothers. I never went through with my mom. My mom was great, bro. She was awesome. And losing her took a lot of me, man. So I felt myself going back into this depressive mode,
Right.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Where I didn't want to go.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying, I had to be strong like Superman, like y'all say.
Yeah.
Because my sister and them never went through stuff like that. I've lost mad friends
Right.
in the military. I done seen people get their heads blown off. I done seen people get shot. It's
Right.
just nasty. But when I lost her, bruh, a part of me just left, man. And I just
Yeah,
felt
God.
so alone after that. Like,
Right.
me and my brothers, we used to hang out a lot, man. It's hard for me to go over there to the house and chill with my pops because I have so many memories of my mom.
Yeah.
And it hurts. And I don't want to pull myself away, but I feel like I do it a lot. And I sit alone. That's why I stay busy. I work because everything I did was for her and my kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So everything I did, I wanted to make my mama so proud of
Right.
me. But you know what I'm saying? I know she was proud. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't as successful as I wanted to be to buy her a house, but I was working to buy her a house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I still, at this moment, feel like I have to work hard because I know she's watching over me.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I tatted her name on my back and I got a big portrait of her in my house. You know what I'm saying? Now, every morning I walk down those stairs, I give her a kiss because she's still here with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless. And I live every day for my kids because I was suicidal before this. I put a gun in my head twice, wanted to kill myself. You know what I'm saying? But then I had to think about my children, man.
That's exactly what saved me.
Yeah, 'cause
exactly
you
what
have to
saved me,
leave that
dog.
legacy, bruh. And you want your kids to be better than you. So, like y'all said earlier, man, that mental stuff that we go through, you know what I'm saying? We got to break that curse because we pass it on to our kids. And when they see us struggle and change and do all that other stuff, it affects them. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I would say to you, my brother, get that help, and I'm always be here. I've been knowing Elijah since 1994. When I ran into Elijah in 2017, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that was him. You know what I'm saying? And he hit me up on Facebook, and I was like, "Brad, you?" Elijah used to tell, he don't remember this, but one time my sister, man, I'm my sister's protector.
Right.
And one time when I was young, I used to fight everybody that used to mess with my sister. So then I put the boys in a circle and make my sister and them beat them up. So one day Elijah was coming down the street. We all stayed in Century 21. And this little white cat, man, he was messing with my sister. And I said, I told Elijah, I said, "Elijah, whoop him for me." Elijah hit the dude. And he said, "Oh my God, he hit so hard." And took off running. So man, so I've been knowing, I was glad I ran into him, man. And you're saying we've been communicating ever since, put him in the movie and stuff like that. And we've been talking, man, and he's elevating. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been to prison, but we all in prison in our minds.
Right.
We you know what I'm saying? And when you imprison your mind, because military, it takes our minds and puts it in a prison.
Right.
And it controls it. You know what I'm saying? Just like prison. You got to go in your head
Correct.
to deal with what you got to deal
Correct.
with. Because
Correct.
physically, you're going to get abused.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? No matter who you are, fighting, weak, you're gonna get sexually abused, you're gonna get physically abused.
Right.
But this right here got to stay strong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as you got a strong mind, I think you can conquer anything in this world, bro. Because the brain controls everything.
It's the strongest muscle.
Yeah. It controls your movement. You can't move without this.
Right.
If this dies,
Right.
you're done. You know what I'm saying? If it dies, you're done. It controls your emotions, your feelings, everything. You know what I'm saying? So this right here is a powerful weapon that we have. And I feel like if we utilize it, you know what I'm saying, together, bro, y'all know we can conquer.
Right. For
You
sure.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? Mentally,
Change
like
the
he was
world.
just saying earlier, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, during slavery, what did they control to control us?
Control the mind.
Our minds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They controlled our minds. As long as I can control your mind, I can control you.
Right.
Because I can make you believe what I want you to believe. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, they talk about how you can will yourself to be this and be that. If we will ourselves to be great, we can be great.
Yeah,
We can
absolutely.
be great. So
For sure.
I love this, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I want to do it again.
I want to say one
and so
thing.
we can talk.
I didn't get a closing statement.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
but I want to do this again and again. This disclaimer: we're not psychiatrists, we're not doctors. We're just some brothers that are struggling in silence, and we want to just talk about it and get it out. Because what you said can help somebody else,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what you said can help somebody else. What you said can help somebody else. What you said can help somebody else. Because we've all lost somebody. What you said can help somebody else. A lot of our young black men been in prison and they going through the same things he going through.
Right.
But they ain't gonna talk about it
Nope.
because
Nope.
they're suffering in silence.
Right.
Same with you, losing brothers, losing son. I can't imagine losing my sister or brother. I can't imagine losing one of my sons.
Right.
That would destroy me, bro. Y'all would never see me again.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
for sure.
So I can't get it. So
For sure.
I commend every last one of you, man. Stay strong, man. Be positive, and we can keep this thing rocking, man, and do what we need to do. Go ahead, brother.
What I want to say is just closing. You can't see what you can't see. Get counseling. Because there's a whole lot of stuff that's happening in your life that you can't see, and they have an external perspective that you need.
For sure.
A good man, a great man, leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
That's
Keep
it.
that in mind. Because this is hard. And even that is hard. But that there, I can do that.
Yeah.
Because I have to pour into my child
Right.
in order that he puts forward. So
Right.
it's my job to model what my mom taught me. Never learned so much until after my mom left. And I realized she's not gone.
Right.
We put her in the ground, so I became a farmer. I work the ground now.
Yeah.
Put that forth to your children's children. Understand, it's not love we seek after. It's respect. As men, we seek respect. And we give protection to everybody around us. We are supermen.
Yeah.
So we don't struggle in silence. We got to struggle together and respect one another. And we can break the cycles of silence.
That's a fact.
So we seek the perspective of not only us. He was in prison, but you were in prison. And I was in prison. We were in the prisons of our minds in these so many ways that society
Right.
imprisons our minds.
Right.
I thought I was supposed to be Superman.
Right.
He thought he was nothing. He thought he was nothing.
Right.
Respect. In this moment, we teach our sons to get that respect and to give protection and to pass that on to the next generation. And that's what we seek. And that's how we heal.
That's a fact.
All right, well, again, I appreciate you, brother, man. Love each and every one of y'all. Sponsor, Body Aqua, man.
Yeah, you gotta put the sponsor on there real quick.
Veteran on,
Right.
you know what I'm
What
saying?
was it again?
There's a site, you can go to Team Body Aqua,
Body
and you
Aqua.
can order this, man. It's in like Walmarts, it's in all kinds of different stores around the world. So, go to the page, check it out. You'll love it. Team Body Aqua is for
Mango
cosmetic,
pineapple.
nutrients. Got a lot of good stuff in there, man. Good for your skin, good for your cosmetic beverage. You got a athletic beverage.
Diabetic friendly.
And all, yeah, diabetic friendly and all that good stuff. So
Yes, sir.
one of my military brothers, Willie Will, man, he's the one. This is his stuff here. Veteran owned again. So check it out, man. Support, sponsor, and do what you got to do.
Team Body Aqua.
Go to Facebook, go to Team Body Aqua, and you can see everything. And then click on it. You can go to the site and order what you need to order. Go ahead, give your
You can follow me at Broadway Louie on all platforms. Stream my music, Broadway Louie. Go to my website on Bandcamp.
purchase my albums as well as you can watch my films on Tubi. You can just type in Broadway Louie. You'll find the movies on Tubi or on Google. But yeah, it's Broadway Louie on all platforms, on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
You can find me on Instagram at The Real Todd Jackson or Facebook Todd Jackson parentheses actor. Or you could just Google me. Type my name in, all my social media stuff pop up there. You can also find my movies on Tubi as well as Amazon Prime. Well, yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, just Google me. Yeah, they all pop up.
Feel me?
Yo, Elijah Watford is a Sony rap artist. You can find me on Facebook, Elijah Watford. You can find me on Instagram at Watford692. I'm on Spotify, Pandora. I'm also on Tubi with man Mike and Los. What goes around comes around.
Yes, sir.
I'm Channing. You can find me in my company, embetter.us, Embetter Us. Because when we embetter us, we embetter all. You can find me on the socials at Embetter Us, EMBETTERUS. I am Channing Hinton.
Sir. Carlos Los 2K6 Smith II. You can find me at Cast2Films at CAS2Films with an S on Instagram. Los 2K6 on Facebook and YouTube, and of course I got movies on Tubi as well. I just had another one of my movies dropped on Tubi last night, so it's go look it up, go watch it. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys, and appreciate you guys once again.
And it's your boy Dre all day. You can find me on Facebook, Andre Pico Train. Instagram, Slim
Hey, you know what's crazy,
2410. YouTube, Enjoy Your Life to the Fullest, all one word. And then again, we on Tubi, What Goes Around Comes Around, Soul Hood Saga, Lot of Lies.
Yeah, we gotta work on it.
And one just hit today, First Coast
Affair, yeah.
check us out. And we working on a new movie, Rights of a Father, so check that out when it come out. And we'll be casting all January, February through March, filming everything. So stay in contact with us so you can get your stuff out there.
Yeah,
This ain't hosted by Michael Carter. He introduces himself as Dre. You can find him on Facebook. Andre Pico Train.
That's what it said.
Whatever you want to call it. You ain't gonna find that too many places.
Whatever you want to call me.
Yeah.